Hello, my fellow property manager friends. Mark Cunningham at Grace Management. How are you doing? If you're watching this at the time this video comes out, school's back in session. We just sent our kids off to school. I got the school cold brought back home, so I'm feeling terrible. But yay for the school being back in session. The kids get out of here a little bit. We can get our lives back just a little bit. So I'm not doing quite as much traveling because I get to stay home more, which is really, really nice. But I was traveling at an event not too long ago. And the event was over. I had spoken all day. I was exhausted. I was tired because talking to you people live is exhausting. And so I was there, and I went to a little restaurant kind of by the hotel I was staying in, this nice little Italian restaurant. And it wasn't a chain, but it was a bigger restaurant. So I went in, and it was kind of early bird. I got the early bird dinner because that's what you do when you're old like me. And so I went in, and they seated me, and there was hardly anybody there yet because it wasn't quite time for the rush. And so I'm sitting there at my table. And there were a lot of people working in that restaurant. There were waiters, there were bussers, there were servers, there were waitresses. There was a lot of people working. They were working hard. So as I'm sitting at my table, I'm looking around, and I want to order a glass of wine. And so I'm sitting waiting to order my glass of wine, and somebody walks by, and I'm kind of like, can I get, yeah. And they're over there because what they're doing is they're working real hard. They're setting the table, they're putting some silverware out. Somebody else was turning the fireplace on, and it was a beautiful fireplace. They were straightening the napkins. Wait, that's not a napkin, that's a tablecloth. Putting out the napkins, setting the tablecloths, polishing the silverware. They were working very, very hard. But I couldn't get their attention. They forgot about me. Now they were doing their jobs. If you would have asked them, hey, what's your job? They would have said, what? Oh, my job is to put the silverware out. My job is to turn the fireplace on. We're in the restaurant business. We got to prepare the food. We got to make sure the food is all hot and ready. And they do. They have to do all these things. And as I'm sitting there, there's another gentleman sitting in the restaurant, and we kind of make eye contact from across it. And we're both kind of like, what is going on? Like, we can't get anybody's attention here. And so finally he got up and left. And finally somebody came over and helped me. But as this was happening, I thought to myself, these people forgot what business they're in. They think they're in the restaurant business. They're not in the restaurant business, are they? What business are they in? And if you're not catching on, stick with me. At the end of the video, I'll tell you what business they're in, and I'll tell you what business you're in, because I do not believe you are in the property management business any more than that person who was walking past me to go polish the silverware thought they were in the restaurant business. They're not, and neither are you. So let's look at a couple potential business answers to the question of what business are you in? Are you in the property management business? I don't think you are. Now, some PMs would disagree with me. They'd say, no. We're in the property management business. That's all we do. We manage properties. Has a property ever called you to complain? Never called me. I've never, in all of my years, had a property call me. I've never had to manage a property. Properties break down, things happen. Properties never complained to me. It's never argued with me. It's never refused me. Never. I don't manage those properties. So I would say no. We are not in the property management business. It's a bad name for the industry we're in. Terrible name for the industry. You say, well, okay, I get it, Mark. We're in the leasing business. Because that's the biggest part of what we do. We place tenants. It's a leasing business, and then we just kind of take care of that tenant to the properties. Is that what you're saying, Mark? And that's a task we do. Absolutely. We do the task of leasing, just like we do the task of maintenance. We do the task of rent collection. But I would say no. We're not in the leasing business, per se. I don't think we are. Mark, I get it. I get the mind game you're playing here, buddy. I know where you're going. I've heard people talk about this in presentations. And this is what we say. We are in the technology business. That's where you're going, Mark. We're in the technology business because technology can solve everything. If we just bring the right type of technology in, all of these problems go away. We can offload everything to VAs and processes and systems and technology. AI, artificial intelligence, can answer the phone. It can send out. I can just sit back in my hammock and do nothing. I got you, Mark. No, my friends, you are wrong. That is not where I was going with this. I do not believe with all of my heart, with any of my heart, that we're in the technology business. Now, don't misunderstand. We love technology. We love it. We use it. We have our favorite vendors. We use technology as a tool for the business we're in. But I believe it is a mistake to mistakenly think you are in the technology business because you can't solve the problems you're trying to solve with technology. They're nothing but a tool. Technology will increase whatever you're doing. If you've got amazing customer service and you add a technology component to that, your customer service will be exemplified. If you've got crappy customer service and you add on technology, you exemplify the crappiness. That's all you're doing. Technology is simply an amplifier. It takes whatever you're doing and it makes more of it. If you're doing crummy work, technology makes you do bigger crummy work. That's all it is. It's a tool. So technology will not save you. It is not your savior. And I could take more and more of that. And I know half of you are mad at me right now because all the tech companies out there, and I get it. And we talk about this from the PM side because we want our companies to be valued like a technology business, don't we? I should have thrown up the graph of Zillow's stock price, right? When Zillow said, hey, we are a technology business, their stock went like literally straight up, like went from like 50 to 150. I don't know, boom, 3 times the amount. Why? Because we're a technology business. And then one day they admitted, yeah, our technology isn't so great on buying and selling houses. We're just a real estate business. And they're right back down, mountain up, mountain down. So I get it. I get the valuation piece of it. But technology, I don't believe is the business we're in. Now, before I tell you the business I think that we are in, let me thank the sponsor for this month's video, Citizen Home Solutions. Now, this is a company that uses real live people plus technology to help us do utility things. Home Solutions is what they call it. I call them a concierge. I love saying concierge. Say it with me. Go ahead. Concierge service, right? So when a new tenant moves in, you connect them with Citizen Home Solutions. Citizen Home Solutions helps them get the utilities transferred, the cable set up, the phone set up, the internet, all that stuff. Best thing about Citizen Home Solution is they cost you nothing. They are free for you, and they will actually pay you money if people utilize them to transfer the utilities. I don't know, is it black magic? Is it voodoo? I don't know. Maybe it is. No, it's not. But they're amazing people. I love them. There are some companies that you're like, yeah, I want to use them. I don't. This is a company every one of us should be using. Okay, number four. Are we in the people business? Would you say we're in the people business? That's interesting. My friends, I propose to you that yes, we are in the people business. When we forget we're in the people business, we start heading down a road that is not going to bode well for property management. Because it's not really property management. This should be called people management or the management of people who rent homes. That's what it should be called. If your people skills are good, you can be really, really good in this business. If your people skills are crummy, you're going to fail at this business. You absolutely, absolutely will. And we have to remind ourselves, this is a small nuanced thing, but it's important. Because when we remind ourselves that we're in the people business, and suddenly a tenant comes in, now we realize, oh wait, this is the business I'm in. I'm in the business of helping this person, of dealing with this person, of solving this person's problem. That's the business I'm in. That's what I need to focus on. How can I solve their problem? How can I help them? Just like my friends in the restaurant who were bustling around and they forgot they're in the people business. They forgot that. They thought they were in the restaurant business and they lost a customer over that. My friend who was sitting across the way got up and left. Why? Because he said, hey, all these people here, they think they're in the restaurant business and they're not. They're in the people business. They're not here they're ignoring me. They forgot about me. Don't forget about the people. Don't forget about your tenants. Don't forget about your owners. Don't forget about your vendors. You're in the people business. And it plays out in many, many ways in your operations. Now, I know you may disagree with me, you may hate me on this, and how do you play these things out? And you can do it in a variety of different ways, but it's something to think about. And I know usually we get here's a checklist you can use, but sometimes it helps to step back and actually philosophically think these types of things because it keeps you a little bit more motivated, at least it does for us. Hey, my friends, I hope that's helpful to you. Share your comments. Let me know if you've got questions. Jump on our website, pmbuild.com. Happy to be a resource in any way we can. Until next time, I wish you success.